Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you what I think is the perfect 5-minute setup. I've used this for a long time, but I also have a 1-minute scalping setup, and I mean scalping and day trading setup. So right now I have this on demand. I'm going to unpause it so things can move around here. I'm going to explain to you first a little bit about what you're looking at, and then I'll go into more detail. So it starts out here with a 5-minute chart. And then down here is the seller's indicator. This is an enhanced volume indicator. This is a 1-minute chart. This is these are the dailies over here. This is a 15-minute chart, and this is a 1-hour chart. This is the level 2. This is the active trader with the ladder. This is the time and sales, which on demand doesn't work very well. This is the ADX trend line. This is the MACD histogram, and this is the RSI. So it's important to point out a couple things. These are custom scripts that I've modified and done. The seller's indicator, the enhanced volume indicator, and the ADX in particular. So those are all available on my channel. But today, this entire layout, as well as all these custom scripts, are available. I do recommend going back to my channel and watching how to use them in more detail. But if you just go down where it says show more and you highlight, you copy and paste that, it has exact directions on how to get it into your Thinkorswim layout. Because when you just move the layout as a whole, it will not bring the custom scripts. You have to put them in separately. That's why I have individual URLs. So guys, if after the video is done, if you like what you see, please remember to give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. It really would help me a lot. I'm trying to grow my channel. So I'm going to get right into more detail about how I use this. So on all the charts that I have, you'll see down here that this is pinned. You have the trend line, the price line pan, and this is the Fibonacci replacements, which I use on the 5-minute. So where that is if you go in here under my tools and you put them all on your chart. So I recommend doing that because you can quickly move things around without opening the toolbar. Again, on my channel, I have a great video that shows you how to set up 1 and 5-minute charts very, very fast, like the professionals do. So what else is on this 5-minute chart? I pointed it down here because it's under my picture here, but is also the standard volume profile, which is right there. Now that again is not intuitive. It's over on your left, not your right. And I have a video describing how exactly to move it over here. Set for day trading. It's set for intraday trading. You want to be in the mix of this volume. You want to see right where you are in the point of control. So that's why I learned how to move it over here, and I have a video that shows you how to do that. You will get it over here though if you download this layout. But I advise watching these different videos. I keep mentioning them because they're going to go into a lot more detail about how to use them, which is pretty helpful. So I just recommend it. So anyway, that's here. And then what else is on this actual chart? I'm going to open up the beaker. These are the moving averages that I have, the 9, the 20, the 50, the 100, the 200, the VWAP. And then there's the volume profile I was just talking about. And then anything that says DTS, that's Day Trading for Success, my site. These are my own scripted and modified things that I found very helpful. So it's interesting. I was recently, with the advent of AI, was asking what are the most commonly used moving average indicators, and it said instead of the 9, it was the 10, which I had never heard before. I'm not ready to change mine yet, but everything else was right on. But it said more people use the 10. I would assume they have a larger pool of information than I do, the AI does. Just thought I'd point that out. So that's the 5-minute chart. This is, you're looking for chart patterns, obviously, besides all these indicators. But as I go through these indicators as quickly as I can, you're trying to get them to work in concert. You're trying to see how many line up together to make your decision. You have 5 minutes. It's enough time to look these over. If you don't know what they are, it's going to be confusing at first. So maybe don't look at all of them. Look at what you do know what it is, and then over time you can learn how to kind of work them together. It's nothing's for sure. Obviously, they're all just kind of giving you an edge. When you have so many line up, though, most likely you're going to have a good trade. I mean, I average over 85 and sometimes, it's between 87 and 82%, I would say, accuracy. And it's because I learned to use, read all the indicators. It's not always, clearly, but it helps. So then down here, the seller indicator. So this is really helpful. Again, my team, our accuracy went up about 5% overall in trading when we started using this. So the red line signifies all the sellers. The blue candlestick is the volume. So when there's a lot of sellers, as you can see the opening candle in the market here, then that means the stock's going to go down. That's all sellers. And then as they drop off, then the stock, sort of leveled out, and then the stock started to go up as it's at the bottom because there's not that many sellers, but a lot of volume. That means those are buyers. So that's how simple that is. And it actually, you can start to figure it out before you see the candle form, which is really helpful. Another one that's really helpful down here is the enhanced volume indicator. Again, this is a script. You won't get it unless you make sure you download the URL. But this is going to show you inside the candles who's winning the battle, not just a one color. It shows you how close was it, before it changed to just red or green. And that kind of helps you make the decision, the bid and the ask, or the buy and the sell, however you want to look at it. This is showing the sentiment in each candle. Again, it reflects it on the candles here. This is showing you as it happens. These two alone are kind of making you kind of just looking across these. It's helping you make the decision, right? This also, this indicator is worth it just for this because it shows you the volume of the last candle and the current candle. As you can see, there's it's going, the volume is going to probably surpass this the way it's going now. But anyway, then we get down here to my 1 minute chart, and you always want to have a 1 minute chart when you're trading 5 minute. And I have this, usually I have this set up where, let me try to get this, pan this over here, where you will have 5 candles in this grid, and that's going to tell me that the 5 minute candle is about to close. So this is the last one. Is that right? Or are those 4 on there? It looks like those are 5. Is that just, that might be off just a hair. Anyway, once you get it set up, you want to set it for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think this is set at 5 right now. Yeah, you can see it just changed. So the new 5 minutes started right here. So anyway, that grid, that's why I use the grid on this, but I want to see what's going on with the 1 minute. So again, these 3 combined are going to tell you the direction, most likely help you pick the direction of this stock. And you're looking at the volume profile as well. Like you do, if it leaves this magnet area, it's more likely to come back. Or sometimes when it breaks out, if it keeps going, it really breaks down. That's one of the things about this volume profile that is helpful to know. I also have on down here are the daily indicators. So these 20, 50, and 200 are daily. Like when you have these increments set up here, they're going to give you the 9 moving average on a 5 minute chart, the 20, the 50, the 100 on a 5 minute, not a day. So having the day, the more respected ones, so when the market opens, the price will pop up, right? And then you can just create a price line, left click twice, and then you can type in the price line that you want. You say, and here you say, let's say we're going to do the 200. So SMA 200 day, right? And then you put in the price down here. So 151.05. As you can see, 151.05, right? And then I make it the same color, right? And then I usually make it a solid line because it's day. And I like to extend it to the left as well when they're dailies. And then I say, okay. Now that's on here. But it's at 150. It's way the heck up there. So it's way up. There it is. I'd actually marked the 20 earlier on another day, so that's still there. But anyway, yeah, okay, just making sure that's right. Yeah, so when you come across those lines, those support and resistance dailies, that's a big deal. You want to, take pause for a minute and see which way you're going to go with those. So down here is my daily chart, which I pop up sometimes before the day begins, and I mark certain trends. I'll go back. I might mark it on a weekly. And, if I'm going to trade Apple all day, I'm going to mark these out. You can see these dailies are carried on every chart time increment, which is very, very handy. Now we get over to what, this is my 15-minute. I want to watch the moves going a little bit further back, as well as my 1 hour, so I can get a feel for what's happening in a general trend on the level 2. I haven't made a video about this yet, but you're looking for these numbers to, if these numbers are very high on one side or the one side more than the other, it's telling you the direction, more bids than ask. Or if there's a huge amount, pretty much the stock is not going to go by that till those all sell off. So having the level 2 that's a certain depth, because you can find them down lower, you know, is pretty important to use a level 2. And I use it to see the price action and the spread very, very quickly. I mean, the numbers are all over the place. They're up here too and everything. The active trader, if you've watched any of my live trading videos, which I do have on my channel, you'll see I don't usually use this because I haven't made one yet trading 5-minute, because basically most people don't want to watch a YouTube video that's that long that you're making trades every 5 minutes. So at any rate, so I will use it though on a 5-minute, and I have gone in here and I've changed these. You know, you can customize these to be different ways that you want. I've changed them so they go right across just how I want to read them. I did the same here. I took the volume, go on the gear wheel. You can change all this stuff, customize it, do anything you want. And then these, of course, you can slide, you know, if you want to move these around, these slide and stuff like that. So you can move them different ways, up and down this way too. And then I always make sure you have the reverse, flatten, and cancel all buttons. Those are pretty helpful. Again, watch some of my trading, you'll see that. And then if you want to trade pre-market, you know, I have it down here where I can go extended, and then I would be using these buttons. So I would just keep this open. It's always on auto send. And then over here is my time and sales. So I can see, again, a lot of buyers coming through, a flash of green, flash of red. This is what just happened. Very helpful to see that with everything else. And then I get over here on this side and you have your ADX trend. So another custom scripted in. And these are pretty cool. These will actually give you alarms when they go off. Your phone will ring on your computer when a trend is forming. So this 25 is signifying whether there's a trend or not. If it's below, if this gold yellow line is below the 25, that means there's no trend, and we're doing the typical kind of trading we always do, which is choppy, choppy, choppy. This is telling me that there's about to be a, well, there is a trend right here. So there's a trend going on right now with this. So now you have to see, is the red above the green or is the green above the red? If the red's above the green, when there is a trend, that means the stock's going down. If the green is above the red, that means the stock's going up. So right now, this is about to reverse. It's showing you part of the problem with the ADX, and this is a good example. There's a little bit of a delay. It's meant to be on more of an hour chart, but it's still very helpful as the day goes on. And then this is when the red and the green cross. But remember, the gold line is only signifying there's a trend. The red is telling you if it's a downtrend, and the green is telling you whether it's an uptrend. So right now, the red is above the green, so it's saying it's a downtrend, but it clearly is an uptrend, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, on the MACD histogram, this is another one that's good to use. This is kind of showing you again which way the stock's going, and then as it's starting to peter out, you know, you got to get. If you were watching this and the red didn't exist yet, you'd be like, uh-oh, and of course it went down. Now it looks like it's about to go green, and it is. You can see here. So this is about to show you green as it moves on. And these are set on 5 minutes, so that's why it's not, you know, moving that quickly. And then this is the RSI. So the RSI is basically, the intent of the RSI is to tell you whether a stock is overbought or oversold. So if it goes above the 70, that means it's overbought and most likely it's going to go down. And this shows you how that happened. You know, got up, overbought, then went down. And if it goes below the 30, then it shows that it's oversold. It's going to go back up. So all these indicators combined really help you get a feel for which way the market's going, which way your stock's going. This one is weird because it's not. I'm annoyed that this is not moving. This is usually moving faster and more correctly, so I don't know what's up with this right now. But anyway, it could be because it's the on-demand. You know, all of these indicators kind of have trouble when it's not open session live trading. The on demand is glitchy, and I think there it goes. So that's the sound you'll hear if there's a trend. So it did signify there's an uptrend. It did cross, and it showed you. So it caught up with it, and this would have been a great day to trade Apple. Remember when it was down to $127? I remember I got it at 124, and I did a great trade. Anyway, so that's pretty much, this is news I have down here on the bottom one. Is I can pop it up and open up the news for the day. So this is sort of all together is everything with you would need. And I can tell you that it might be a little overwhelming looking at all these indicators. You don't have to use all the indicators. I'm making them all available to you. You can just use the custom grid and X a bunch of these out if you don't want. But over time, you know, it's easy to start to add them, you know, in your thought process, you know, and then before long, it'll just be like, it's a no-brainer. I mean, after you get in, just before you get in, you have all the time in the world because you haven't got in yet. And once you do get in, you have, you know, you're basically looking at everything to decide when you're going to get out. You know, you're going to wait for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you have a lot of time to kind of say, what are these things saying? So it's not as overwhelming as with anything, right? It's all overwhelming when you first learn it, but I think you can catch on to it pretty quick. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. Good luck out there trading, and thanks a lot for watching.